Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Bhakta-vrinda Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Kṛṣṇa, Hare Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa Kṛṣṇa, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Jaya Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Krishna Balaram, Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Radha Sama Sundar, Radha Sama Sundar Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Nitai Gaur Haribo, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमदे श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय स्कंद संस्थापकाचार्य श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। श्री वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय। श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा देवी जमुना देवी की जय। भक्ति देवी की जय। श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताई की जय। श्री श्री कृष्ण बलराम की जय। श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर ललिता विशाखा देवी की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलं गयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवम्। So today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 88, text 12, attaining the Supreme. sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya mūrdhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya mūrdhni ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya mūrdhni ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya मूर्धनि ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām
sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya
sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya ca
ātmanaḥ prāṇam
mūrdhni ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam
āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām
āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām. Mataji. sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya ca mūrdhni ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām. Sarva-dvārāṇi, all the doors of the body. Saṁyamya, controlling. Manaḥ, the mind. hṛdi, in the heart. Nirudhya, confining. Ca, also. Mūrdhni, on the head. Ādhāya, fixing. ātmanaḥ, of the soul. prāṇam, the life air. āsthitaḥ, situated in. yoga-dhāraṇām, the yogic situation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Prabhupada. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of the senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself in yoga. Purport. To practice yoga as suggested here, one first has to close the doors of all sense enjoyment. This practice is called pratyāhāra, or withdrawing the senses from the sense objects. The sense organs for acquiring knowledge, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and touch, should be fully controlled and should not be allowed to engage in self-gratification. In this way, the mind focuses on the Supersoul in the heart, and the life force is raised to the top of the head. In the 6th chapter, this process is described in detail. But as mentioned before, this practice is not practical in this age. The best process is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. If one is always able to fix his mind on Kṛṣṇa in devotional service, it is very easy for him to remain in an undisturbed transcendental trance or in samadhi. Om Gyanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sopadantikam. Vandeyam Shri Guru Suyutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghuna Nitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Kṛṣṇa Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Visakha Nitam Sa हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। सर्व-द्वाराणि संयम्य मनो हृदि निरुध्य च मूर्धना ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām. So here in this verse of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Kṛṣṇa is speaking about the yogic process by which one can meditate on the Supreme. So here we see that in the middle of the battle, Kṛṣṇa is speaking about yoga. Though Arjuna was perplexed about his duty, and Kṛṣṇa has to motivate Arjuna by giving him transcendental knowledge so he can surrender to the desire of Kṛṣṇa and fight in this battle. But Kṛṣṇa also took this opportunity while giving instruction to Arjuna. He took this opportunity to educate the whole mankind about their duties. So here in Bhagavad Gita we see that Kṛṣṇa would have directly told Arjuna to just surrender unto him, and he would have spoken only about devotional service. But why Kṛṣṇa was speaking about karma, jnana, dhyana, yoga, and also bhakti? Because while Kṛṣṇa was instructing Arjuna to surrender unto him, he was also thinking of these people of this world who are attracted to different processes of spiritual realization. Some people, they are attracted to karma, natural in the material world. People, they are attracted, most of the people, they are attracted towards karma. Some are attracted towards jnana, knowledge. Some are attracted towards yoga, and some are also attracted on meditation, and some are attracted towards bhakti, devotional service. So there are different kinds of people in this material world. And Kṛṣṇa was trying to convince through Arjuna to these different kinds of people that how they can utilize their propensities in devotional service. That's why Kṛṣṇa is speaking elaborately on different processes, dedicating whole chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga. So, the desire of Kṛṣṇa is that though people are attracted towards different processes, but how they can use those processes to come to Kṛṣṇa. So when we say yoga means to be united. So one can be united with Kṛṣṇa through karma, that is karma yoga. One can be united with Kṛṣṇa through knowledge, that is jnana yoga. One can be united with Kṛṣṇa through meditation, that is dhyana yoga. So there are different. One can be also united with Kṛṣṇa through bhakti, devotional service, that is bhakti yoga. And though Kṛṣṇa is describing all different kinds of processes, but at the end, he is emphasizing on bhakti yoga. How the devotees are very dear to him, and how he is dear to his devotees. So he dedicates a whole chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, about bhakti yoga. So all these processes are meant to bring people up different motivations to Kṛṣṇa consciousness. And in that way, everyone will be benefited from these teachings of Lord Kṛṣṇa. So Bhagavad Gita is actually meant for everyone, not only for devotees, it's meant for everyone, all kinds of people, those who are attracted to different kinds of ways, spiritual ways. So, Kṛṣṇa has already, Srila Prabhupada mentions on 6th chapter, he is speaking about yogic processes. But here in the middle of this chapter, attaining the Supreme, means how one can attain the Supreme, he is also bringing out few verses about yoga. So, Kṛṣṇa is speaking that one can attain him through devotional service, which is much more easier than other processes. But also those who are practicing yoga, yogic process, they can also attain him. So that's why he says, sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya, mano, hṛdi, nirudhya. So specifically this verse is dealing with yogic process. That how one can attain Kṛṣṇa through this yogic process, Kṛṣṇa is describing in this verse. So first thing one has to do, pratyāhāra. There are different kinds of processes in yoga. First, one has to find a place, lonely place, to practice yoga. One cannot practice yoga in the middle of the city or in the middle of the crowd. One has to find a solitary place which is suitable to practice yoga. Specifically, the yogis, they prefer the forest, which is much more solitary, so they can practice there. So they find a place, asana, and they find a place in the solitary place, find a place to meditate. And they put asana, means sitting place, where the yogi will not be disturbed. Because generally when one is sitting, so many insects will crawl, even crawl over one's body, and that is a disturbance in meditation. So generally the yogis prefer specific asana. Either that can be a deer skin or some grass which has thorns, thorny grass, where insects will not crawl. So they put that type of asana. And then they practice pranayam. After they are situated in asana, they practice pranayam. Pranayam means controlling the life airs. And by controlling life airs, one can control the mind. This is an artificial process. So, by artificially practicing this pranayam, they try to control their mind. And when the mind is controlled, naturally the senses are withdrawn from sense objects. That is called pratyāhāra. Asana, pranayam, pratyāhāra. So when the senses are controlled from the sense objects, then the mind will be steady. Because mind is unsteady because of the senses. Senses are always trying to enjoy the object of the senses. They are attracted towards the object of the senses. So once the mind is steady, then only one can have meditation, dhyana. Otherwise, dhyana or meditation is not possible if mind is unsteady. Then dharana and samadhi. And when meditation is fixed, that is dharana, and then one will be in samadhi, complete absorption in meditating on this Supreme Lord. So the yogis, there are different kinds of yogis. Some yogis are impersonalists. So they want to merge in Brahma-jyoti. So they chant Om, but that is the impersonal feature of the Lord. So they merge in Brahma-jyoti. That is their destination. But there are some yogis, those who are personalists, those who meditate on Paramatma form of the Lord. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti sabdete. 3 stages of realization. So Brahma realization is the first stage, those who are impersonalists. They want Brahma realization, but then Paramatma realization, they are personalists but not fully. They understand the Supreme Lord. They only understand one aspect of the Supreme Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So they meditate on Paramatma. But those Bhakti yogis, they meditate on the Supreme Lord. Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is the source of all incarnations. So here, this yogic process is described that sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya. So the yogi, the first thing he has to do pratyāhāra, as I told. This is the third step. Asana, pranayam, pratyāhāra. Third step. So Kṛṣṇa is speaking that sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya mano hṛdi nirudhya. The one has to withdraw his senses from sense objects. Pratyāhāra. That means senses will not run after sense gratification. Because when senses are, these 5 senses here it mentioned, knowledge acquiring senses, and they have their sense objects. Like eyes and the sense object for the eye is the form. When you see a beautiful form, eyes are generally attracted. So the form is the sense object for the eyes. So in the same way, ears. For ears, sense object is sound. When we hear beautiful sound, ear is attracted to the sound. And then nose. Sense object for nose is smell. So when we have a nice smell, nose is attracted to smell. And then tongue, which is very difficult part of all the sense objects. So tongue, the sense object is taste. The tongue is always desiring to taste different things. So, and then touch. Sense of touch. So that means form, the sense object. Sense of touch, the sense object is form. So, the sense of touch want to touch the form. And in that way, all these senses, they want to enjoy happiness, material happiness, which is temporary, and this material happiness is unsaturated. It will never be satisfied. So the yogi, he tries to control all these senses from sense objects. And when he tries to control, then the mind becomes steady. Our mind is unsteady because all these senses are always running after sense objects. That's our mind is always unsteady, always thinking about sense objects. And then Kṛṣṇa says in Bhagavad Gita, ādhāyāto viṣayāni punsa sangaste supajāyate sangat sanjayate kama kama. The chain reaction starts just from thinking in the mind. So it all starts from mind. When we think of about any sense object within the mind, then the chain reaction starts from there. So that's why the yogi, he withdraws the senses from sense objects, and in that way controls the mind. So he would not think about sense objects or material enjoyment. And when mind is steady, then one can meditate. If mind is unsteady, then it becomes very difficult to meditate on anything. So the yogi first tries to control the senses, then the mind, and then they try to meditate. So, sarva-dvārāṇi saṁyamya. That's why it has been stated that the yogi first closes all the doors of sense gratification. And we all know that this tongue is very difficult to control. And when we cannot control our tongue, then we cannot control any other senses. Tongue, belly and genital, they are in one line. So, it is very important to control the tongue. That's what Srila Prabhupada says always, that the tongue has two functions. One is to always chant Hare Krishna. If we engage our tongue in chanting Hare Krishna, and then take only Krishna Prasad. If it is not Krishna Prasad, don't take. In that way, we control our tongue. Then everything else is controlled. So, the yogi, in this way, he controls his mind, and then he meditates. He meditates on Paramatma, the Paramatma feature of the Lord within the heart. hṛdi nirudhya. So he meditates in his heart on this Paramatma form or feature of the Lord. mūrdhny ādhāyātmanaḥ prāṇam āsthito yoga-dhāraṇām. And in this process, the yogi also tried to raise his life air from Mūladhara chakra. There are 6 chakras in the body. In the yogic process, the 6 chakras are described. And the yogi, by controlling the mind and the life air, he raises the life air from Mūladhara chakra, which is at the bottom of the body, near anus. The life air is raised from there. There is Mūladhara chakra. And it is raised from there. And it goes through different chakras. Mūladhara, adhisthana, Visuddha, Manipuraka, Ajna, Sahasrara, all the chakras are there. So Sahasrara chakra is on the top of the head. It starts from Mūladhara chakra from the bottom, and it arrives at Sahasrara chakra on the head. And the yogi lives his life air through the head. So in this way, the yogic process has been described here. But Srila Prabhupada says in the Purport that this process is very, very difficult, specifically in this age of Kali. And the best process for this age of Kali is to chant the holy name of the Lord, which is the most easy process. Because the yogis, nowadays we see many yogis are there, but they are practicing yoga in the city, in a room with so many people, so, and they don't know what is the goal of their yogic process. They think that this yoga is meant for some physical fitness. And they think this is yoga, to have some physical fitness. So they do some yogic exercises, and they think they have attained something higher. But this is not the real yogic process. the real yogic process given by Patanjali is the real yogic process, and the goal of that yogic process is to meditate on the Supreme Lord. So, in this age of Kali, since this yogic process is not possible, that's why the yoga-dharma, Harinam Sankirtan, has been given. And specifically, we are very fortunate that in this age of Kali, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't appear in every Kali Yuga. Only when Kṛṣṇa appears in Dwapara Yuga, then the next Kali Yuga Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. So we are very, very fortunate in that respect that we are born in this age of Kali, and we are also getting this opportunity to chant the holy name of the Lord by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And this holy name is so powerful. And specifically, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came not only to propagate this holy name of the Lord, which is Yoga Dharma, because in every Kali Yuga, some incarnation comes to propagate this Yoga Dharma, holy name of the Lord. So, there was no need for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, who was Kṛṣṇa himself, to come to propagate this holy name of the Lord. That's why Lord Kṛṣṇa in Golok Vrindavan, he thinks that Yoga Dharma Pravartana Haya Ansahite, that any of my incarnations can come and propagate the Yoga Dharma. But ama bina anya nare braja prema dite. But Kṛṣṇa was thinking that any of my incarnations can come and propagate the Yoga Dharma, holy name of the Lord, in this age of Kali. But without me, no other incarnation can give Braja Prema through this holy name of the Lord. So this is the specific benediction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Kṛṣṇa came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to specifically benedict the fallen souls of this age of Kali through propagating the holy name of the Lord and giving Braja Prema through this holy name of the Lord. This is the special benefit we are getting in this age of Kali. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he was present, and while he was propagating the holy name of the Lord, he himself was giving this Braja Prem. Anyone who heard the holy name of the Lord from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone got this Kṛṣṇa Prem. They became overwhelmed with the love of Godhead. And those people who heard from those people, some people heard from those people who had heard from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they also got Kṛṣṇa Prem. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving Kṛṣṇa Prem to each and everyone. Even if someone did not meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but he met with someone who had met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and had got Kṛṣṇa Prema. So that person got Kṛṣṇa Prema from that person who had met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, this love of Godhead was given without consideration of who is eligible and who is not eligible. Anyone who chanted this holy name of the Lord, they all got Kṛṣṇa Prema. So this is the special mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why Srila Prabhupada says that in this age, the best process is Kṛṣṇa consciousness. If one is always able to fix his mind on Kṛṣṇa in devotional service, like the yogis, they have to fix their mind on something, either Om or Paramatma. So Prabhupada says, if someone fixes his mind on Kṛṣṇa in devotional service, it is very easy for him to remain undisturbed in transcendence or samadhi. So by meditating on Kṛṣṇa, that is the best type of meditation. That's in Navadha Bhakti, 9 types of devotional service, the smarana is there. We may not be able to sit in one place to meditate, but we can remember Kṛṣṇa all the time, 24 hours a day. Abhismriti Kṛṣṇa padara bindayo khinoti abhadrani chasantanoti. If someone meditates on the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, then hundreds, thousands of sinful reactions will be eradicated just by meditating on the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa. Sattasya suddhi paramancha bhakti. And one's existence will be purified just by meditating on Kṛṣṇa's lotus feet. And then one will get pure devotional service. When one's existence is purified, one will get pure devotional service. Sattasya suddhi paramancha bhakti. Jnana cha vijnana viraga yuktam. And then jnana, knowledge, and vijnana, realized knowledge, with detachment. One can get everything just by remembering the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa. So this easy process has been given for this fallen age, this age of Kali, that people can take this easy process instead of taking this difficult process of yoga. And they can attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Lord Kṛṣṇa just here mentioning all the processes of attaining Him. Though He is speaking elaborately on devotional service or meditating on Him, but through that process also He mentions about yogic process, that one can also attain Him through yogic process if he meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll stop here. If anyone has any comments or questions. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
One should meditate on the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, I said number of times.
Yeah.
So, since we haven't seen the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa, how can we meditate? How do we understand that?
Have you seen the lotus feet of Kṛṣṇa in the temple?
Yeah.
Okay, you meditate on that. Very easy process. Very easy process. Because Kṛṣṇa is non-different from the deity form. Huh? When someone thinks the deity is different from Kṛṣṇa, then it becomes difficult for him.
The number of deities, we have to fix in someone deities, how do you understand? Like the deity which we love, we can fix on the
Yes. Because there are so many deities, they are all Kṛṣṇas, but you have some relationship with some deity. You are attracted to them. Then you think about them, no problem. That is very easy. That's why Kṛṣṇa mercifully has manifested in his deity form. Because we don't see Kṛṣṇa, at least we can see his deity form and meditate. And serve him, serve them.
Maharaj, the word lotus also is face, lotus feet.
Krishna's feet is like lotus. Lotus is reddish, very beautiful, very fragrant, and very cooling. So Lord's feet is also like that. There is resemblance between lotus and Krishna's feet. That's why it is addressed as lotus feet.
Maharaj,
Huh.
Jagannath, we don't see the lotus feet. Jagannath was this.
To see the lotus feet of Jagannath, you have to develop transcendental eyes. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Jagannath, what did he see? How did he see? What did he see? Shyam-sundar. Jagannath is none different from Shyam-sundar. And Jagannath's form is Shyam-sundar's Mahabhava form. Kṛṣṇa in Dwaraka thinking about Radharani and Gopis of Vrindavan. That is, and in that state he became Jagannath. So he is none different from Shyam-sundar. Yes, Mataji.
Maharaj, you have mentioned that in this age of Kali, all the living entities are very fortunate because Mahaprabhu appeared and before that Kṛṣṇa appeared. So every time, like this cycle going on. So Kṛṣṇa doesn't come every Dapar Yuga or Mahaprabhu doesn't come every
Yeah.
Then how many cycles they after they are last
In Brahma's one day, Kṛṣṇa appeared once, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also appeared once. In Brahma's one day, that means 1,000 Divya Yugas. Brahma's one day. And there are 14 manus. So in the 7th Manvantar, now is 7th Manvantar going on, Vaivasvata Manvantar. In Vaivasvata Manvantar, when the cycle of 28th Divya Yuga comes, in that cycle which Dwapar comes, Kṛṣṇa appears in that Dwapara. And next to that Dwapara Kali Yuga comes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. So now, this is the 28th Divya Yuga of Vaivasvata Manvantar is continuing. And Kṛṣṇa appeared in the Dwapara age, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared immediately in this Kali Yuga. This is once in Brahma's one day. And other Dwapara Yugas, other Kali Yuga, other incarnations would come. But Brajanandan Kṛṣṇa does not come.
Like as you said, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he said Hare Krishna and whoever heard it developed Krishna brain, and whoever heard that and he followed. So can we understand that it's a discipline sanction?
Yes, yeah. And we are also getting that. We are getting through disciplic succession. That by chanting the holy name of the Lord, we can also get Krishna brain. That is the mercy of the Lord.
How much time it will take?
That is up to you. How much time will take? If you are very serious, it will be one lifetime. In this lifetime you can get. If you are not very serious, then few lifetimes maybe.
When we say serious, it's attending chanting and before it.
Yes, yeah. Staying away from Vaishnava Aparadh, the 10 offenses. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.